Well, here we are again, Billy, Chris Brookes, who is leading the charge against the Murray-Darling Basin Authority. Big thank you to everyone that's been sharing the video. But I'm just trying to get my head around the fact that you have water allocations, and here it is, and you can't even have a drop.
Not even from a stock.
There's the water. Now have a look at some of the crops right on the riverbank. Are they dead? They're dead crops. And they're right next to this huge water supply. Right, this is what it's about. It's about getting the message out about how bad this situation is. And of course, Chris, this is a big day. The government is releasing another drought relief package, and I guess the first thing I wanted to say is when you say another, it would mean that the first one didn't work.
Well, it obviously didn't get much take-up because it just is difficult for majority of farmers to access those packages. Not that they're interested in more money, they're about trying to make do with the debts that they have.
And what's interesting to me is that the farmers just want their bloody water back.
That's it in a nutshell.
Right? Now, how much is going out to sea at the moment?
So far this calendar year, there's been 2 million megalitres go out to sea.
Okay, 2 million megalitres, which is worth about 1.2 billion?
Yes.
So, how does that make any sense giving money when you could just give the water back?
Well, that's a huge complication. I mean, we don't want to be seen as being disrespectful or ungrateful, but it just doesn't make any sense at all where a Prime Minister of this country can allow our water to be that badly managed that goes out to sea, and you're wasting $1.2 billion worth of this valuable resource, and then turn around and put a band-aid on the problem by offering $1 billion in loans. And just to put that in perspective, what I mean is, if I put my hand up for $1 million of that money, low interest and no interest or whatever it is, and that'll give me enough money to go and sow 2,000 hectares next winter, which is about how long it takes before you get access to the money. If I was compliant, if I had a cash flow to justify taking on another $1 million, and it doesn't rain and the crop fails, I have no more grain, but I have an extra $1 million in debt. Not fixing the problem. However, if I was given my water, I would go out and sow the 2,000 hectares myself, and I would produce $2 million worth of grain.
Seems simple. From what I understand, with these loans, which are $1 billion worth of loans that are interest-free for 2 years. So when the government says they're interest-free, they're actually not. The interest rate is 3.11%, which will need to be paid back after 2 years. Now, it takes 11 months to get the money, which would give you 13 months to get everything rocking and be able to start paying it back. I mean, from what you're hearing, your phone has been ringing off the hook with farmers. Obviously, the package is getting released as we speak. Have you got any initial thoughts?
Look, there are some people, younger, more progressive farmers that are in a situation to take advantage of this. I have been told by some locals that with some additional funds, they can go out and buy some additional water, and they can produce a crop, a higher value crop, that will generate enough funds for them to service their own debts and this existing debt. And that's great, but my only concern is looking at the bigger picture. If half of this money, like $500 million of these loans, goes towards people that are thinking the same way, that's half a billion dollars worth of people are going to step into the water market to buy more water when it's a critical short. What's going to happen to the price of water?
Through the roof.
All I want the government to actually acknowledge is this whole region was established with dams and water allocations allocated to farmers to drought-proof the country. That was 60 years ago. Now, whatever moron made the decision to take the water off the farmers to send out to sea has to realise that this is the result. We are now unreliable producers. So much so that Australia can't feed itself. We're importing wheat, we're importing dairy, and it won't stop at that. So, for Christ's sake, just understand, please, as a government, we need water, and this is the best area. There's 3 rivers from the Goulburn to the Murray to the Murrumbidgee, the southern rivers. Food bowl is going to be a dust bowl in 12 months' time. If they don't stop wasting this water and give it back to farmers, we'll produce all the grain and the feed needed on the east coast of Australia with a decent water allocation. And you won't have to spend $1 billion if you stop wasting $1 billion running it out to sea. That's a pretty simple message that ScoMo is not hearing. It's not being given to him by Susan Lake, it's not being given to him by David Littleproud, and he's not even listening to the media or anyone else.
Radio people.
Especially the radio people, Bill, and you're yelling them with the loudest voice.
I am, mate, because, and I keep saying this to everyone, I'm learning as we go. Chris has been a great resource for me, just telling me how it is. And I'm not the smartest bloke in the world, but I know enough to know that what has been policy has failed.